Welcome to English Myths Explained, because some of the most common rules in English and English education were invented, exaggerated, or simply wrong. Let's get into it.
You write the person that called, and someone corrects it to the person who called. That, they say, cannot be used for people, and only who is correct when referring to a human being. Today we look at where this rule came from, what Shakespeare and the King James Bible actually wrote, and why the evidence tells a completely different story. The rule is clean and widely taught. Who and whom refer to people. The woman who called, or the chair that broke. The colleague who helped me. The document that arrived. On this account, mixing them up, saying the woman that called, is confusing a human being with an object. The correction feels logical. The rule feels like it protects the dignity of a person by using the human relative pronoun for humans and the non-human one for things. The feeling of logic behind it is one of the reasons it has been so successfully taught. The King James Bible, 1611, Our Father which art in heaven, which for God, the Lord that made heaven and earth. That for God. Shakespeare used that for people throughout his plays. Chaucer used it. The rule against using that for people has no basis in the history of written English. It was invented by grammarians who applied a logical preference to a language that had never observed it. The Oxford English Dictionary documents the word that, referring to people, from Old English onward without interruption. In practice, who and that are both acceptable for people in modern English. However, they do work slightly differently in terms of register and rhythm. Who is slightly more formal and personal in feeling. It emphasizes the human quality of the person being referred to. The colleague who helped me sounds a little warmer than the colleague that helped me. That feels slightly more neutral. In defining clauses, where the clause specifies which person is meant, that is often more natural. The first person, that, applied for the role. Both are correct. The register difference is subtle. Use who when referring to a specific named or described person, where you want to emphasize their humanity or individuality. Use that freely in defining clauses where the person is being categorized or specified, rather than individually described. Never feel obliged to change that to who when referring to people. The constraint has no basis in English history. And never correct someone else for this on the grounds that it is a rule, because it was never a rule. Using that to refer to people has been standard in English since Old English. The King James Bible does it. Shakespeare does it. The rule against it was invented without historical basis. Who is slightly more personal in register. That is slightly more neutral. Both are correct for people. 22 myths down. Subscribe to Fluent Daily for more.